Hi Ultimate Gardeners, welcome back to the Ultimate Gardening channel. My name is Emmanuel Arce, well known to be the Ultimate Gardener. Come join me in becoming an Ultimate Gardener day by day. So here I have the white Pirovina guava that the royalty plant company sent out for me to trial. Here's a little fast motion video I recorded when I planted this sucker in the ground. So talking about our care guide, which is one of the most important things, is number one is you have to stay vigilant. Guavas are very prone to get multiple different diseases out there, especially scale, powdery mildew, and spider mites. Those are three main ones that we deal with a lot here in South Florida. Like I could even grab a leaf, I believe. Yeah, look. Look at this. This is terrible. So you want to stay vigilant so you're able to remove these types of leaves in early sight. You don't want any of these diseases attacking your bush or your tree because this will highly affect the production of your tree. So be careful around this. If you see this start developing, always take out the leaves that are affected and dose the entire tree out with an organic spray that you have that works best for you. Number two is that they like to be pruned. Trees in general, like fruiting trees, like to be pruned because it helps them set more fruit year after year. So especially with guavas, which they get tremendously big. This hasn't even been in the ground for over a year and it's getting tremendously big. It has doubled, even tripled in size from the original size. And so I need to go ahead and prune this soon so aeration can go in and out of the tree, so this could be prevented, and as well to keep it a nice shape and it won't get so wild and crazy like some of these branches are already have gone to be. So pruning is highly required to help your tree develop way more fruit and better branches as well. Number three is you have to provide them some support. When the guava trees are a young tree, especially if you planted them at the size I did, they do need some support because if you live in an area where winds get very bad, it will knock your tree over and even damage it branch wise. I had to deal with that personally when we had, I believe, a hurricane threatening the state of Florida, but it didn't hit us directly, but we did get wind bands of it, not the recent one that came through, if not, I believe, a few months ago. And so I had to stake this puppy up because it was constantly bending and almost even laying flat on the ground due to the high heavy of winds. So if you live in an area where winds are very bad and you have a young tree, add some support. Don't give it support once it's a more mature tree, once it has a more structural main branch, but otherwise make sure to provide some support. So Ultimate Gardeners, that one was the white Pirovina guava I showcased to you guys. This is the Mexican white guava, but I did want to showcase to you guys this because we are dealing with some severe issues with this tree. When I mean severe, it's like terrible bad. This tree has to get pruned, but not only that, it has to be heavily doused and treated for powdery mildew as well as for scale. I'm gonna show you guys a quick video on how this tree is looking like. I feel so bad for this tree. I tried controlling it one time. The disease was starting to be tamed down a little bit more, but it seems to be after the rain, it's come back. So let me go ahead and show you that video. So here it is, you guys, and look at this tree. It's heavily diseased. Like every leaf has something wrong with it. And so I'm gonna have to completely cut this back, remove the mostly affected leaves, and douse this with an organic spray for a constant week even, because this is not okay. So here's the growing guide for the guava tree. So this is the red Ruby Supreme that I got from Incredible Edible Landscapes. Look at this. It's already producing fruit right here. I'm gonna see if I can pick these today. When you have critters around your garden, you wanna make sure you pick your fruit about a day to 2 days earlier before it actually fulls on ripens, because some critters will come ahead and take the guava when it's still a little bit green so they could savor it for a long period of time. But we want our fruit, so we want to make sure we're able to secure it as fast as we can. but this tree is doing amazing. It's high in productivity right now, which is great. So here's your quick growing guide. Number one, they're full sun loving plants. 6 to 7 plus hours is highly recommended for best production. Any type of fruit tree loves sun, give it sun, because that will allow it to suck up a lot of energy, and it'll create its sugars from there, and it'll break that down into energy and create a beautiful plant with amazing fruit like this one. So 6 to 7 plus hours for guavas is highly recommended. Number two is that they like well-draining soil but a little bit of moisture around their root ball. Guavas can handle a few days without watering, but they do not like to have spans and spans of weeks without watering, because that will kill your tree eventually, and it will prone your tree to more diseases in further days. So make sure you keep your soil well draining, but also keeps a little bit of moisture around its root ball as well. Number three is any type of fruit tree, and I recommend this every single time I make a video on any type of fruit, is it loves fertilizer, especially organic matter, whether it be food scraps, organic compost you made, anything in that area. Oh, especially earthworm castings are like black gold when it comes to fruit trees. So you want to make sure you go ahead and treat these with some fertilizer so they can stay on a constant production schedule, and they could combat these awful diseases that come after them. Just to spray on a constant schedule these trees. Like I mentioned earlier, these trees are very prone to many diseases out there, and so by keeping on top of spraying will allow you to prevent your tree from getting these diseases, or when it does, it'll be able to combat it way easier than if you didn't do anything to the tree. So please spray with an all-organic solution about every month so your tree can stay happy and stay protected from these ugly diseases. So that's gonna be it for this exciting sprouting video, you guys. Once again, I gave you guys a video all about growing and caring for guava trees. I highly recommend growing these fruit trees because if you're a beginner gardener looking into growing fruit trees, this is super easy to grow and you'll get an abundant amount of harvest throughout your growing season. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and may God bless you and your family, and never forget to grow big, ultimate gardeners. Bye guys.